Hey guys, it's Ro. Welcome to another Nerdy Nummies. Halloween is right around the corner. It's only a few days away. It is this Friday and it is my favorite holiday. To get in the spirit this year, I have been playing the video game Costume Quest, which is probably the most adorable RPG Halloween game that I have played thus far. It is a game where you and your friends trick or treat, collect candy, and you unlock these really cool super powered costumes. You fight monsters, and as you play your way through the game, you earn different creepy treats. There are 3 full pages of creepy treats in your game journal, and I thought it would be perfect to recreate some of these recipes for Halloween. So today we are going to be making booger pies, mice crispy treats, and barf roll-ups. Let's get started. Since we are making so many recipes today from scratch, I am going to explain how to make each recipe as we go because that will be easiest for you. There are a lot of things going on here. So the first thing that we're going to be making are booger pies. So you're going to need 2 big mixing bowls, and in the first mixing bowl we are going to mix together 6 ounces of unsalted butter, 1.5 cup light brown sugar, 1/4 cup of dark brown corn syrup, and 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to blend together until everything's combined and smooth. Once it's all mixed together, now we are going to mix up a lot of our dry ingredients in this bowl over here. So we are going to add 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, 1¼ cup of graham cracker crumbs, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then you're gonna whisk them together. As soon as you've got your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients, now you are slowly gonna add your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients, mixing at a low speed until everything is combined. Once these are mixed together, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons of whole milk, and you're just gonna pour it in slowly as you mix. Once your dough is ready, pick it up, put it on top of your plastic wrap. You're gonna flatten it out, cover it up, and put it in the fridge for 1 hour to chill, and then we're gonna cut some cookies. Once your cookie dough has chilled, you're gonna take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it on the surface so that your cookie dough doesn't stick. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like graham cracker. You're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. You're gonna roll it out so it's about 1/4 inch thick. We're almost there anyways, but we're just gonna do it a little bit more. Once you've got your dough rolled out, you're just gonna take a little bit of baking spray. Oh, geez, not again. Oh, there we go. Okay, and you're gonna spray your cookie sheet so that they won't stick. Just a light spray. Then you're gonna take a circle cookie cutter. This is a 3-inch, and cut out a bunch of cookies and transfer them to the baking sheet. Now that you've got all your cookies on the sheet, you're gonna heat your oven to 325 and bake for about 10 minutes. And just a reminder, you'll want to bake an even amount of cookies because it will take 2 cookies to stick together to make a booger pie. Once your cookies are done baking, you're gonna put them on a baking sheet, make sure they've had plenty of time to cool, and then we are gonna stick them together like a little sandwich. In this little baggie, I have marshmallow cream, which I have dyed green with a drop of food coloring. Then you're just gonna take 2 of the cookies and stick them together. Once you're done putting all your cookies together, we're just gonna stick them in the fridge for about 15 minutes to chill, and while those are chilling, we're gonna heat up the chocolate. To heat up the chocolate, you put 20 ounces of bittersweet chocolate into a glass bowl over boiling water and mix it until it melts. Once the chocolate is melted, remove it from the heat, bring it over to your baking station, and we are gonna allow it to cool. Now you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, add it to your chocolate, and whisk it together. Now it's time to dip our booger pies. This is my favorite part. So over here, I just on top of a cutting board put a piece of wax paper so that our booger pies do not stick to the surface. And I've got 2 forks over here. So what you're gonna do is pick up one of your little cookie pies, and you're gonna submerge them into the chocolate. There we go, jiggle it around. And now you're gonna pick them up. Just let the excess chocolate drip off for a second. Just give it a little jiggle. Then you're just gonna transfer it over to the piece of wax paper and let the chocolate set. After you're done dipping the booger pies, you're just gonna set them in the freezer for about 10 minutes to chill. And while those are chilling, we're gonna move on to our second recipe. We're gonna make some barf roll-up. To make barf roll-ups, these are apple fruit roll-ups. They are delicious. The things you'll need will be a blender. You'll also need some baking spray, 3 Granny Smith apples, 3/4 cup of regular sugar, chopped up peanuts. I just bought regular peanuts and then chopped them up on a cutting board. 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and then you're gonna need an apple peeler to peel your apples, and a corer. I use this because it's just the easiest thing ever, and I'm gonna do that on a cutting board. The last thing that you'll need is a baking sheet with a piece of tin foil on it. I'm using a 17 by 11 inch pan, but you can use whatever size you have. It's give or take. The first thing that you're gonna do is peel your apples. Peel and core them. I like to peel them first, so I got this little peeler. And just take your time, get all that skin off. Now, you can use a knife, but I like to use this device because it is the easiest way to core an apple. You just line up the center hole right in the middle of your apple and then press down. And look at that. The core comes right out. Perfect. Then you're gonna put your little apple slices in the blender. Now that we've got all of our apples in the blender, we're gonna add our sugar. Now we're gonna blend them up until we've got a nice smooth consistency. Now we are gonna add our lemon juice and we're gonna mix one more time. Once we've blended all the apples together, you're gonna transfer our fruit puree into a medium-sized saucepan. We're gonna bring this over to the stove, turn it on to medium heat, and we're gonna let our apples simmer for about 35 minutes. And this part is totally optional. You can add a little bit of green food coloring to make it look more like BARF. After about 35 minutes, your mixture will thicken, it will get gooey, and you'll know it's time to take it off the heat, and you're gonna bring it back to your baking station. We're back here at our baking station, and our fruit roll-up mixture is all ready, and the first thing you're gonna do is make sure you have a piece of tin foil on your baking sheet, and you're gonna take a little bit of baking spray, whatever you'd like, spray it down. Now you're just gonna pour the mixture on top. Then you're gonna do your best to flatten it out evenly across the pan with your spatula. And then we're gonna sprinkle on some peanuts on the top. Now you're gonna heat your oven to 200 degrees and we're gonna bake this for 3 hours. That is a long time, but we slow bake fruit leather. That's just how you do it. Once your BARF roll-up is done baking, give it plenty of time to cool. It looks so gross. It looks just like from the game and it looks just like BARF. We are gonna flip it onto a piece of wax paper. Put the wax paper over the top and then 1, 2, 3, flip. Gently peel off the tin foil. Now we're gonna cut our apple BARF roll-up into strips. Just gonna take a big cutting knife and cut all the way down. And then, this is the fun part. This is pretty exciting. Okay, we're gonna roll it. Ooh, there you have it, BARF roll-up. Now do this to the rest of your rolls and then we're on to the next recipe, Mice Crispy Treats. The things you will need will be 5 cups of Rice Krispie cereal, 4 cups of marshmallows, a baking pan, some baking spray, whatever you'd like to use, 1/4 cup of butter or a half a stick, and then to decorate you'll need black chocolate melts and sliced almonds for the little ears, and you're also going to need a medium-sized saucepan. And if you are in a hurry and you don't have time to make Rice Krispie treats, they do sell these little individual Rice Krispie bars which are about the exact same size. Let's get started. You're going to grab your butter, marshmallow, Rice Krispies, and your medium-sized saucepan, and we're going to head over to the stove. The first thing you're gonna do is turn your stove onto low heat and you're gonna add your butter and stir frequently until the butter has completely melted. And once it's melted, then you're gonna add all of your marshmallows and you're gonna stir them together until they have completely melted. And once they've melted, you're gonna remove from the heat and you're gonna slowly stir in all of your Rice Krispies. Once you've mixed in all of your Rice Krispies, I came back over to the baking station and you're gonna take a little bit of baking spray, grease your pan, and then you're gonna pour all of your Rice Krispies into the pan. Then take a piece of wax paper and you're gonna put it on top and just flatten them down. Now you're gonna take your Rice Krispies and put them in the fridge for about 1 hour to chill. And while they're chilling, we're gonna heat up our black chocolate and make some little mouse whiskers. To make the mouse decorations, the first thing you're gonna do is take a piece of paper, and I just freehanded these. They don't need to be perfect. Little mouse ears, whiskers, and tails. And you're just gonna slip it underneath a piece of wax paper. I've just taped it down, so I'm just gonna wiggle it under there. And I've melted the black chocolate, and you're just gonna pour it into a plastic baggie so I'll have more control when I'm making my little shapes and designs. And I put a number 1 tip at the end so that I would have a little bit more control. And then you're just gonna trace all of your designs. Chocolate dries really quickly, so as soon as you make your designs, they should be ready in a few minutes. We just finished our chocolate decorations and our Rice Krispies have chilled, and now we are gonna take a big cutting knife and we are gonna cut our Rice Krispies out into little rectangles for our Rice Krispie treats. Now that we've got our Rice Krispie rectangles, we're gonna add all of our little mouse decorations. I'm going to start with the tail, they're so cute, and I'm just gonna stick it in the back. Now that we've got all the little mouse tails on, we are gonna put their whiskers and ears. And I've kept the chocolate, so if you wanna draw little eyeballs or use the chocolate to help connect the ears, feel free to do that, it's very helpful. Ta-da! Here are all the creepy treats that we made from the video game Costume Quest. We made booger pies, BARF roll-ups, and Rice Krispie treats. I had so much fun. If you guys have any other ideas for any of the nutty nummies, please let me know. Leave me a comment down below and I will do my best to make it happen. Also, I will post pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. And if you guys make any of these treats, please send me pictures because I get a big kick out of seeing your baking creations. I love them. Okay, thanks again, you guys. Bye-bye. And oh, happy Halloween!